Hello and welcome to another video. If you are new here and watching for the first time, hi and welcome. My name is Natasha, and this is a space where we share experiences, we learn, and we grow. I am a South African expat who has been staying in the Netherlands, or living in the Netherlands rather, for just over 3 years now. And I'm also an altruist at heart, which means I love helping others and sharing information without any expectations. Today's video is going to be about top companies in the Netherlands that sponsor work visas. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so just by clicking on the subscribe button below. Don't forget to hit your notification bell so that you never miss out on any of my videos going forward. Don't forget to like, comment, and share the video so that we can reach more people. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys famous and widely recognized companies in the Netherlands that are known to sponsor highly skilled migrants. Okay. I'm also having a cup of tea. I hope you guys don't mind me drinking this because I really need to drink this tea. So, we will start off this video by discussing big tech and engineering companies that are among the most common sponsors for international talent. So, in no specific order or particular order, the first company that I'm going to speak about is ASML. In South Africa, we might pronounce it as ASML, or in other parts of the world, but in the Netherlands, it's called ISML. And it's one of the biggest tech employers and hires many non EU engineers. The second company is Philips. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Philips. It's strong in healthcare tech and R&D. So just to mention, I know a lot of people that work at ASML and that have worked at ASML. Like the majority of expats that live in the Netherlands, I think especially in the North Brabant province, work at ASML. Like a lot of people that I know work at ASML. And then there are some other people that I also know that work at Philips. I also worked for a sister company of Philips at some point in time. And yeah, so yeah, those are the first two big tech and engineering companies. The next company is called NXP Semiconductors. They specialize in chips and embedded systems. I'm going to put all the company names on the screen so that you can follow. The next company is booking.com, and booking.com has a huge expat workforce in Amsterdam. So if you are interested in working for booking.com, you would probably have to stay in Amsterdam. The next company is called Adyen, and it's a payments platform, and it also hires a lot of international migrants. And then we have TomTom, which specializes in mapping and automotive tech. And the next company is Zalvin, and Zalvin is basically a Dutch recruitment and staffing agency that specializes in technical secondment, engineering, technology, and IT sectors. So if you are in those sectors, then you could check them out for any job openings that they might have. So the companies that I have mentioned are almost always IND recognized sponsors, and they regularly relocate employees. Then next we are going to go into the international tech companies, right, that have Dutch offices or offices in the Netherlands. So the first one is Google. Believe it or not, Google has Dutch offices or offices in the Netherlands. So if you are interested in checking out any jobs that Google might have in the Netherlands, they also do sometimes sponsor visas. The next one is Microsoft. Then we have Amazon, Uber, Netflix. And just to let you know, most of these that I've just mentioned are actually based in Amsterdam, and they do heavily rely on international hires. So if you are interested in working at Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Uber, or Netflix, then you can check out if they have any openings in the Netherlands. And then next, we are going into finance, consulting, and a business. So these companies that I will mention under this segment frequently sponsor highly skilled migrants. The first one is ING. ING is also known as ING in the Netherlands, and it is a banking institution. The next one is Rabobank, which is also a banking institution. And then we have ABN AMRO, which is also a banking institution. Then we have Deloitte. I think a lot of South Africans would be familiar with Deloitte because we do have, I think, branches in South Africa. And then the next is PwC. This one is also a company that a lot of South Africans would be familiar with. And then we have Accenture. So just to mention, under the finance, consulting, and business companies, usually the role needs to often meet the salary threshold requirement, which is key for visa approval. So I think you need to meet a specific salary threshold before your visa can actually be approved. And then the next industry is the industrial and energy companies. So we have Shell, we have Exxon Nobel, we have DSM, Firmenich, we have Heineken. So these are large multinationals with structured relocation programs. And then next we will go to startups and scale ups. So these are very expat friendly and they sometimes do hire expats. The first one is called Message Bird. The next one is called Molly. And then we have Picnic and Bank. So just to mention that many startups are also on the IND sponsor list, but not all the time. So it's very important for you to always verify this. And then lastly, an important reality check is that you can only get the visa through an employer that is a recognized sponsor. And the full official list is huge. So there are 1,000 companies that actually sponsor visas besides the big companies that I might have mentioned. So it's not always just the big names, but you do find that other companies that may not be like well known can actually be found on the sponsor list. And even if certain companies may be found on the sponsor list, it's important to know that they may still prefer EU candidates as compared to hiring an expat or a migrant. And it's also important to note that, in as much as a company may be part of the sponsor list, they don't always take up on the responsibility of the visa costs and the administration costs. So those costs might fall on you, and sometimes certain companies require a minimum salary. Just to make an example, maybe they might require you to be earning 4,000 euros per month depending on your age. So going to the question that a lot of people usually ask me, which is how do we find sponsor companies? And the answer is that you need to search for IND recognized sponsor list Netherlands. So this is the official register. This is where you're going to find all the companies that sponsor visas and that are recognized in the Netherlands. And just an advice, I would suggest that you look for things like international teams, so companies that have a lot of internationals. If you are starting off and you have not learned the Dutch language, maybe also look at English speaking roles or English speaking companies, and also make sure to check the relocation packages, which is what a specific sponsor company actually offers and what responsibility might lie on you financially. And the best strategy that I would advise based on what I've learned and seen in the Netherlands is that it's important maybe for you to target tech, engineering, and finance companies as they sponsor the most and meet certain salary thresholds easily. And from my observation and conversations I've had with various people who work in different industries, I've come to learn that the industries that pay well in the Netherlands are either tech slash IT, engineering, finance, and healthcare specialist. So if you work with the elderly or you have experience and qualifications to work with the elderly, then this might be the place for you because there are a lot of elderly people in the Netherlands. I think I've mentioned this quite a number of times in many of my videos that the Netherlands is one of the countries that has a high life expectancy, which means people live longer and the elderly live longer. So you find that a lot of elderly people are still alive and require healthcare, they require attention, and basically they require specialists to be able to help them. Then, once again, it's very important for you to note that certain startups may be on the IND list, but not all. So you must always verify before you apply, because you don't want to find yourself in a position where you do apply for a certain job and you are disappointed because that specific company does not sponsor visas. And then some non visa funding recruitment companies. These are companies that I have come to learn about through my own personal recruitment experience. These are companies that I've gone to interviews for, I've interacted with, and that I know of. So once you are already in the Netherlands and you are now maybe looking for a different job, or if you know someone who's here and is probably looking for a job, these are the non-visa funding recruitment companies. The first one is Untouchables. And just to also mention that some of these companies can possibly sponsor visas, but once again, it's very important for you to check the IND sponsor list. So the first company is called Untouchables. The second one is called Randstad. And then we have Actief Werkt. And then we have Approach People Recruitment, Adeco, Unique, Start People, Perflection, Manpower, and finally Luba. And then some visa funding companies that I am aware of are Research Square. They specialize a lot in people who have engineering degrees or who are in the engineering sector. And then we have Randstad, Expat in Tech, and finally Foreign Flex. And then, if you find yourself in a situation where you are like me, you came through your partner, so you came through a family visa or a partner visa, or if you did move to the Netherlands because of a study visa and now you are looking for a job, if you are not fussy and are maybe struggling to find a job, there are various other jobs that you can do that are always available in the Netherlands. I've picked that up through my job search in the past. So these are the various jobs that you could possibly work at. So you could do grocery deliveries, you could work as a truck driver, there are waitressing jobs and waiter jobs, there are supermarket jobs and retail jobs. One thing that I should mention is that in as much as I'm not saying that there is an abundance of jobs in the Netherlands, or people don't struggle to get jobs and people don't struggle in their jobs that they are in. But one thing I can assure you is that compared to where I'm from, which is South Africa, the opportunities are definitely more. And then, in concluding, just again to mention the most needed sectors are elderly healthcare, engineering, finance, tech IT, and lastly, I forgot to mention au pairing. So, if you would also like to work as an au pair in the Netherlands, it is possible. I know a lot of people who work as au pairs in the Netherlands. You can just search for au pairing jobs in the Netherlands. There are two companies that I know that I think do work with the entire au pairing system, which are Nina.care and Sitly. But you just have to search on the IND list and also search on Google or whatever search engine that you use to check for au pairing jobs in the Netherlands. And in ending this video, guys, I just want to say this, that I am not a recruitment agent, neither do I work with recruiters. I'm just merely sharing my information in order to help someone there who might be interested in moving to the Netherlands. A lot of people usually ask me to share jobs with them that are available in the Netherlands. Guys, I can't do that. There are many jobs that are available, thousands of jobs probably that are available in the Netherlands. So I can't specifically tell you which one is available. You have to search for yourself. But I can share some information that will help you in your job search and also help you to navigate the job search a bit more easier, and just to also let you know which industries and sectors mostly hire in the Netherlands. So yeah, guys, that was basically it. I hope this video does really help someone out there. If you really enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to interact in the comment section. Let me know what other industries, sectors, or even companies that you know of that do sponsor visas for expats and highly skilled migrants. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.